it goes inside of her eyes and her mouth. She's like, oh, and all of a sudden she goes, and she freezes in place, chat. And we see on her body, her skin looks like it hardens. It starts to crack, and it looks like it's becoming bark. We see little bits of leaves start to grow around her, and it's like, oh my God. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content in my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games. I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video. We need to get to my next review, chat. My scene by scene breakdown, chat. The Batman the Animated Series, episode 29, Eternal You, chat. We start the episode looking upon a health spot, chat. Looking upon a health spa, it's the dead of night, and we see that the front doors of said health spa open up, and we see a large, rotund woman waddle out. Oh, she's waddling out, chat, because she is terrified. She's trying to escape. She's afraid of something, chat. Thank you, Glee. My condition is in. Thank you for the 150 biddies, and welcome to stream. Some evening juice. I need it. Thank you. No, Glee, always a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for the 150 biddies. But this rotund woman, chat, she is running away from something. She's waddling away, and she's being pursued. But she's moving across these hills. She ends up inside of a forest, chat, brushing against all these fucking trees. They're whacking her in the face. She's just being scraped up, just, But someone is pursuing her, chat. This lady, she's got these, like, thigh-high boots on, chat. They're colored green. She's got the Raphael from the Ninja Turtles disguise, chat. The Raphael disguise. A fedora and a goddamn coat, and she's coming after this person, chat. And she stops, this very rotund woman, and she's like, oh, I made it. Oh, thank God. She's like, you didn't waddle far enough. And she's like, no, Joey the Jedi, thank you for the 6 biddies, my friend. Oh, you guys so supportive. Thank you. Ooh, chat. I'm feeling it. My condition is in. Same with this lady. She's like, no. And this person comes out of the goddamn forest, chat. She removes the coat. She removes the fedora. And who is it, chat? Poison Ivy. It's like, holy shit. She's like, no, leave me alone, please. What did I do to you? You did the worst thing possible. You and your horrible company. You destroyed a rainforest. For what? Cardboard boxes? You die. And she fucking sprays this green fluid all over her, chat. She's covered in this green sludge. She's like, no, and it goes inside of her eyes and her mouth. She's like, oh, and all of a sudden she goes, oh, and she freezes in place, chat. And we see on her body, her skin looks like it hardens. It starts to crack, and it looks like it's becoming bark. We see little bits of leaves start to grow around her, and it's like, oh my God. And Poison Ivy, she goes up to, she's like, see? You're more beautiful this way. And she takes like a little twig out of her hair, and she just drops on the floor, and she struts away, chat, away from what she just did. Jesus Christ, is a body horror episode, chat. I always like this Poison Ivy episode. Anytime she like really like changes people's physiology with her concoctions and things. Very messed up. There's some dark episodes with Poison Ivy in the series, especially in like the new Batman Robin adventures. Like, Jesus Christ. But then, chat, we hard cut. We're now at Wayne Manor, chat. And Bruce Wayne, he is very upset because he's on a fucking call with one of his executives, chat. Apparently, they tried to bamboozle him. They green-lighted a deal in order to cut down this part of this rainforest to harvest rubber, chat, for, you know, their automobile industry. And Bruce is like, I am not going to fucking destroy a goddamn rainforest just for rubber. We're backing out of the deal. We're not doing it. And that's when anytime something like this happens, it needs to pass through my desk. By the way, you're fucking fired. And he slams the phone down. And Alfred's like, trouble at the office, Master Bruce. And it's like, these fucking executives, I love it, chat. Like, even in the company that they're like, oh, everyone loves Bruce. But they still, like, they underestimate him because he has that whole playboy persona, that facade. And they try to pull a few fast ones on him, chat. This is, of course, Lucius Fox. He's still got all fucked up because of the Clayface incident, so he's not like on his best game. But Bruce is like, yeah, they fucking underestimated me. I'm not gonna just destroy a rainforest. Alfred's like, oh, very good, sir. By the way, well, you'll always be updated on everything, especially when I give you your mail, because that's how he gets all his memos, chat, is through the mail. It's the '90s, chat. It's the '90s. So this also came through the mail, sir. This VHS tape, a cassette tape, chat, really shows you just how old the series is. I got like an eyelash stuck in my eyeball. Oh, chat. Oh. Ow. I'm transforming. Oh, God. Oh, chat. Excuse me. There we go. I'm good. I'm good, chat. I was momentarily blind. It's like I had glass in my eyes, like the guy from the Iron Giant. And so, chat, he's like, oh, you also have this cassette. And he's like, well, fucking just put it in the TV. And so Alfred, he just goes on over, puts in this giant fucking big screen TV. And we see these two very big bosom ladies. And they say, hello, Bruce Wayne. We just want to offer you a free weekend at the Eternal Youth Spa, where you can have all sorts of things done to you. You can have a nice, relaxing bubble bath peel. So what the fuck's a bubble bath peel, Alfred? I don't know what that is. You can have all sorts of mud applied to your body and eat natural, organic food. You'll feel younger. Eternal Youth Spa. Alfred's like, this place looks weird. He's like, yeah, Bruce is not. He's not in on it. He's like, yeah, I'll fucking ignore him. How'd they get me? He's like, I don't know, sir. By the way, apparently you just won $10 million. He goes, oh, great, just put it with the others. Like, again, $10 million is nothing to Bruce Wayne. But then, we cut outside of Wayne Manor. We see this very fancy car park right outside. And this old lady gets out. She's just like, she's got like a little power rock going on, chat. And she just goes up to the door. She starts a knock, and she starts a knocking. And Bruce is like, who the fuck is that, Alfred? And like, no one visits me. He's like, I'll check on it, sir. And he goes to the door, chat. And this is, this character's name is Maggie, chat. And this character is fucking Alfred's girlfriend. He's this girl. He's the girl he has on the side. She goes, and she has a creepy fucking voice. She's like, hello, Alfred. And he's just like, Maggie, what are you doing here? I told you not to come here. Only when I'm on off hours are you allowed in here. She goes, oh, don't mind, Alfie. She gives him a big old smooch on the cheek. And she runs in there. Apparently, she's a wealthy socialite, and she banes Alfred on the side, chat. She's like, I'll do whatever the fuck I want to you, Alfred. She goes in there, and Bruce is like, oh, how you doing, Maggie? She goes, oh, good to see you, Bruce. Oh, my God, is that the Eternal Youth Spa video? Were you sent one? And he goes, yeah, they sent me, like, I guess I had, like, a free weekend with them. And she goes, oh, I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. That would be amazing. It's like, well, hey, why don't you can go in my place. You can go in my place, and how about you take your fucking boy toy Alfred? And he's like, sir? He's like, oh, just, you're both old. Just fuck. I know you fuck here. All right, I'm a detective. It's not hard to figure out. I know everything that happens in this mansion, Alfred. Everything. He goes, oh. And so Alfred and Maggie, they go in the place of Bruce Wayne. So they take a nice fancy car. Maggie, she's constantly trying to fuck. Good for Alfred, right? But she's constantly trying to fuck him. She's always has her hand on his thigh. She's just rubbing. And he's like, oh, dear. He's just not interested. He's like, I just don't want to do this now. And she's like, drives the car real fast. She's like, Maggie, slow down. She's like, that's the last thing I want you to do, Alfred. He goes, whoa. Eventually, they pull up to the spa. And, they have like at this main gate, they hit the intercom and they're like, hello, my name is Maggie, whatever, Hepperbaum, and this is Alfred Pennyworth. We're in place of Bruce Wayne. And we cut to those two girls that were in the video tape, and they go, sorry, Dr. Isley. Looks like, I thought this was like Harley Quinn at first. Like, that sounds very much like Harley Quinn. But apparently Mr. Wayne, he sent two people in his place. Should we send him away? She goes, no, we'll eventually get to Bruce Wayne. She's like petting a plant or something. Like it's a cat. We'll get to Bruce Wayne eventually, but we can hurt his friends for now. And then we cut, chat, and we see all these fat, rich fucks sitting at this table, and we have Isley, who has her. By the way, Alfred knows what Poison Ivy looks like. It's Pamela Isley, and all she did the Superman thing, chat. In order, her disguise in this episode is a pair of glasses. And she's rolled her hair up into a bun, and she goes, "Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Demeter. I just want to thank you for joining me at the Eternal Youth Spa, where eternal youth is indeed a possibility." And they're like, "Oh, really?" They're like, "Yes. Here you'll eat all organic food and the freshest of water, made with my unknown plant substance. It's like, what's in there? It's like, it's complete. Anytime you just say it's organic, it's like, oh, that means it's good for you. You don't know what the fuck that is. She just says, this organic plant substitute is perfect for you. It gives you beautiful skin. It adds years to your life. It also gives you perfect gut health. And Alfred's like, I need that right now because he's all fucking nervous. And get everything there, apparently. Even the air they breathe is coated in this unknown organic plant substance. It's like, okay. And Alfred, he's just fucking talking shit. He's like, I doubt that. And she's like, shut up. Excuse me. You know what? Why don't you just have some of it? And she pours like all of them, that organic plant water and these little cookies made out of the organic plant substance. And Maggie's just like, they look delicious. She just starts stuffing her fat face. She's like, oh, Alfred, it's divine. Alfred's like, well, I suppose I'll have some. And he's like, it's quite good. And he starts drinking all this. She's like, Poison Ivy's just like, yes, enjoy, you fleshy meat sacks, enjoy. We then cut, because Bruce is just like, I can't do anything with Alfred. I don't know how to cook. And he calls Alfred up. He's like, hey, Alfred, are you coming home soon? He's like, and we see Alfred. He's in the middle of this giant fucking pool. And he's got some of that plant water and the cookies, chat. And he's just living up. We see Alfred's got a fucking hot bod, by the way. He is a handsome man, chat. I don't know how old he is, but he's like, all in shorts. He's got like a six, like Alfred has a six-pack, chat. I mean, he was in MI6 back in the day, but damn, Alfred, you look good. And he's like, oh, Master Bruce, I just had no idea how stressed out I was. It's wonderful here. That's why I feel so much more youthful. I've been able to see nature's beauty. And we see Maggie, chat, and she's just bathing in the organic plant matter, completely naked, chat. She's like, hello, Alfred, would you come and join me? He goes, well, some of nature's beauty, Master Bruce. He's like, I'll promise I'll be coming back Monday morning. He goes, Alfred, I don't know how to work the microwave. Oh, sir, I'll figure it out for you. Alfred, I'm hungry. He doesn't know how to do it, Shane. Bruce is like, oh, he's just sad. Eventually, the weekend's over, and Alfred and Maggie, Maggie pulls up to Wayne Manor, and Alfred's like, oh, it was such a wonderful time, Maggie. She goes, it was, Alfred, especially last night. You were so lustful. He goes, yes, indeed. And he looks at the man, and he goes, you know something, Maggie? I just realized how dreadful this place looks. It needs some sprucing up. A little green, I believe. She goes, I totally agree. It looks hideous. He's like, but not you, Mac. And he gives her a big, wet fucking smooch, chat, right in the lips. My God, Alfred's horny. Good for him, though. And he walks up, chat. Meanwhile, we cut Batman, he's talking with Jim Gordon. Jim Gordon says, we've had all these wealthy industrialists kidnapped in the span of several weeks. Like, this can't be just a coincidence. And Batman's like, I'll look into it. He's like, no, I'm sure you will. Well, let me know if you need any. And Batman's just going, he's like, God damn it, Batman, stop doing that. He's just mad. He's just, God damn it, Batman. We then cut, we're in the Batmobile. And Batman's going, he enters through the secret Batcave entrance for the Batmobile, chat. He's going down. And all of a sudden, as he's driving, he's like, the fuck is this? He starts seeing like all these plants, chat, like all these random potted plants and trees and flowers everywhere. And he parks the car and he's like, I fucking hate that plant. And he just fucking runs over one of them, knocks it over. And he gets out, he's like, the fuck is this? The whole Batcave, chat, is covered in flora, all sorts of flowers and vines and palm trees. Has Alfred just been carrying all this shit in all day? How did you get all this in here, Alfred? Because if Batman says, Alfred, if you fucking brought people down here, you do know I have to kill them. It's like the Vicky Vale situation. Why do you think we don't see Vicky Vale anymore? Because I killed her, Alfred. And Alfred's like, he's carrying this one potted plant. He's like, hello, sir. Alfred's like, he's like, what's with the flowers? He says, I just thought this old cave needed a bit of sprucing up, a little green. He goes, yes, it's very green. He does not like it. He likes his stark. Batman's color palette, chat, is dark gray, black, and even blacker black, okay? I don't want to, maybe a dark blue. Outside of that, no. Keep your fucking green out of here. And Alfred's like, oh, that will do it. He puts like one of the plants on top of the Batmobile. He's like, Alfred, I'm going to drive there. He's like, oh, you just remove it later. Just make sure to put it right there. It just brings the room together. He goes, Alfred. And he goes, oh, sir, Whew, I'm a little tired. I need a moment, sir. I just need to I need a drink. And he goes over to his little cart he has, chat, and he has that organic plants shit. And he's like, I just add some of this organic plant jism to my water. And he just pours it all in there. He just drinks it all. And Batman's like, Alfred, what is that stuff? He's like, so good, sir. He has a heart attack. He has a heart attack right there and just falls over. And Batman's like, Alfred. And he carries him upstairs. And, he's like, oh, it's nothing, sir. I guess I was more stressed out than I believe. I just shouldn't have exerted myself so much. And Batman's like, and Bruce is like, all right, Alfred, well, you just rest here for right now, okay? You don't need to do any more work today or tomorrow. But tomorrow, you got to show me how to work the microwave, okay? I don't understand it, Alfred. I want spaghetti. I want my SpaghettiOs, okay? And he's like, I'll show you tomorrow. He's like, okay. And he goes back downstairs. And he starts analyzing this organic plant jism. And like, I don't know what the fuck this is. This is weird. Meanwhile, beautiful shot, because Alfred's room is right behind Wayne Manor, and so you see the sunset coming off over the water of the giant lake. I don't know where. I think I get the sense that we're in Gotham's kind of like Chicago. I don't know. I'm not sure. It might be on the Eastern Seaboard, but. It comes up, and he's just like, I want to go outside. And he steps outside, and Maggie's just looking up. She's been there for hours. She's like, Maggie, hello, Alfie. How are you? He's like, I'm fine. I just feel like I need to go back to the spa. He goes, matter of fact, I do. I've just been thinking about it all week. And she's like, me too. Let's go right now. And so he's like, okay. And he just sneaks through the Wayne Manor chat. He puts gets his little suitcase together. And him and fucking Maggie, they head back to the spa. And where they meet some of Dr. Demeter's assistants, and they're like, we just couldn't help ourselves. We'll pay you whatever you need to be paid. I have an incredible salary. My boss is Batman, so it'll be perfect. They're like, oh, no problem. And we're like, let's show you to Dr. Demeter. She'll start the next phase of your treatment of eternal youth. And they're like, oh, that sounds fantastic. And they go meet Dr. Demeter. She's like, oh, I'm so glad you two have come back. Here, let me show you what the next phase will be. And we go inside this giant botanical gardens chat, this giant dome, and we have this huge curtain. She's like, I like to show you what the next step of the process is. And they reveal this fucking curtain, and we see all the industrialist chat have been turned into horrific plant monstrosities chat. Like their skin has turned to bark. And they're like, ah! And they're like, oh my God, good heavens, what is this? He's like, this is what's gonna happen to you, motherfucker. And she tells her assistants, get the organic plant splooge jism. And they're like, no. And they just start spraying them with the chat. And they're like, they try to run away, chat, but they're like, they freeze in place, and they start to grow plants out of them. And it's like, oh my God, it's fucked up. And Ivy's just like, yes, 2 more beautiful creatures from my collection. And they're added to the thing. Meanwhile, we cut back to the Batcave chat, and Batman's like, computer, I am about to add, he realizes, okay, this is like a chlorophyll-based substance. It's weird. And he's like, it seems to have an adverse effect on human anatomy, and I'm going to add the exact amount of human plasma, blood, along with the organic plant jism together. And he pours them in one of the vials, chat, and it just explodes on his hand. He's like, what the fuck? And this plant creature starts growing up his arm, chat, and starts choking him. And it's like, go to sleep, go to sleep. He's like, ah! He's just choking, and he rips it off his arm, and he throws it on the ground. He just starts stomping on it, you motherfucker, until it dies. He's like, it's poison ivy. God damn it, poison ivy. He's like, shit. And he goes and looks for Alfred. He's like, Alfred. And Alfred's gone. He's like, that motherfucker went back to the spa. God, all right, fine. And so he takes the Batmobile chat. He goes to the Eternal Youth Spa. He gets on his Batman glider, and he infiltrates that place, and he goes to where he thinks Alfred would be, the main area. There's no one there. There's hardly any staff. Either most of them are off for the night or just had a skeleton crew to begin with. And he goes to the Botanical Gardens area when he comes to a curtain. But, oh, no! He's attacked, Chet. He's attacked by Poison Ivy and their guards, and they get the drop on Chet. They get the drop on Batman. They knock him out. They concuss him, and they tie him up with, handcuffs and shit. And he's like, Poison Ivy, you eco-terrorist. I knew it would be you. You're a goddamn fanatic. And she goes, it's good to see you here, Batman. He's like, why are you doing this to all these people? Why have you kidnapped them? It's like the things that they have done to Mother Nature. They will pay. They have unspeakable crimes. And it's like, I fight for justice like you. He's like, I fight for justice. You're a goddamn eco-terrorist and fanatic. I'm not killing anybody yet. Or like, no, not that anyone knows that I've killed anyone. She says, well, let me show you my beautiful creations, Batman. And she reveals the fucking, she pulls the curtain aside, and they're all like, they're all bark creatures. And he's like, my God. And she goes, yes, I've used this purified form on them of my organic plant-gism. And after, right now, they just have a bark-like exoskeleton. It's not permanent unless I apply this to their bodies every few days. And then they'll become beautiful trees. And I have the patience of a redwood, Batman. I can't wait to see them become my favorite flowers. And he's like, you're fucking crazy. And he sees Alfred and Maggie. He's like, no, Alfred. He's so sad. And he's like, I'm going to beat the shit out of you, bitch. And he's like, you won't have time for that, Batman, because we're going to apply the organic plant-gism to you right now. Ladies, shoot him with it. And they shoot him. He escapes. He breaks out. He's like, ah! He breaks out of the handcuff, chat, and he starts running. But they shoot the organic plant-gism at him, chat. And they're coating with it. The thing is, though, chat, he already took the antidote. He ingested the antidote, and he coated his entire body, chat, his entire body in his costume in the antidote. He's like, that fucking organic plant-gism's not going to get me, Ivy. She's like, no! And Batman's like, I ain't fucking around, Chad. He grabs one of the girls. He just starts beating the shit out of him, Chad. Like, he jumps on one of them and just punch, knocks her the fuck out, breaks her nose, knocks her teeth out, grabs the other one, Chad. Go to sleep. She's like, and she goes to sleep. And Ivy's like, fuck! And she's like, she has her, like, her little, her little crossbow arm thing, which is weird that she has that. They get rid of it later on in the series where she's just able to control plants. But she's like trying to shoot at Batman using her little crossbow. We also find out that the trees, she's like experimented on trees in order to get their organic plant-gism. They're like some rare Brazilian plant. I don't know. Probably sci-fi mumbo jumbo. But she's like, it's purified gism sap. That's what it is. And so she's firing, but she's hitting all of her trees and plants. She's like, stop it, my babies, my babies. And eventually Batman, that's the thing, because she like goes over to her laboratory, because Batman's like, I'm going to bust all that shit open. She's like, no! And he just fucking takes a fucking batarang and he flings it at her. And she's like, oh, she jumps out of the way. And it hits one of the beakers filled with like the plant-gism, falls on the ground. She's like, oh my God, no! And it instantly burns like a giant fucking tree. And it like just hits her in the gut. She's like, ah! And she gets like thrusted up into the air, chat, until it hits the top of the dome. And the whole botanical garden is destroyed, chat, as this massive, giant avatar tree is born. And Ivy's just like, oh, she's all broke. She's got all broken bones and shit because the force of the tree just, like, collapsed her fucking rib cage. It's like, Jesus Christ. And meanwhile, he calls fucking Jim Gordon. He's like, all right, apply this antidote to everybody. And then we cut to the hospital, chat. All the industrialists are okay. Alfred's recovering, Maggie's recovering, and, Alfred's just like, I feel awful. Maggie's like, you'll be good soon, Alfred. I'm feeling a lot better. She's like grabbing his leg. He's like, not now, for the love of God, not now. I've been shitting green for weeks. And eventually Bruce comes in. He's like, hi, guys. Just thought I got something to spruce up the room. And Bruce is being he's being an asshole to Alfred because it's a plant. So since I know Alfred's been, wanting to redecorate certain places of the house, I thought I'd get a plant for him. And Maggie's just like, oh, Bruce, please, not right now. It's the last thing we need to see is a tree. And Alfred's like, yeah, Bruce, I get it. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm sure you do. And he just leaves the room. And Maggie just goes, Alfred's like, oh, that Bruce Wayne, he's a good man, but he's not the smartest person, is he? Alfred's like, yeah, he's not. And then it cuts, chat. And that, my friends, is Batman to spruce up the room. Oh, he loves his bad puns. He loves his puns. But that, my friends, is Batman the Animated Series, episode 29. Eternal Youth. Great episode, by the way. Very fun. I'm like, Jesus Christ. When I hear Maggie, I think about the Southwark episode. Oh, yep. Oh, I haven't killed anyone, but I have to hold my beer. He's killed a bunch of people. Thank you, by the way. We have a new follower, chat. Notorious Vic. Thank you so much for the follow. You're my new Huckleberry. Hope you're doing very well. Just finished my reviews. My Toon reviews. Iron Giant and Batman the Animated Series. I hope you enjoyed them, chat.